How's it going, everybody? AZPlow21 back again with episode number 2 of Gladiator Fighting Global. I know it's been quite a while since the first episode. Some stuff's gotten in the way, but as you can see, back again with episode number 2 of our local to global series here on WMMA 5. And really excited to bring it, actually, because I've been playing my UFC save that I've been doing on the channel for a while now, and I've not been recording it, obviously, because you guys haven't seen any of it. A lot's happened on it. Maybe I'll do an update video sometime in the near future, but I've been definitely looking to get back into doing this local to global save, and well, here we are. As you can see, September of 2019. It's currently October as we record this video, so it's been quite a while since I played this. As you can see, all the titles are vacant, so nothing has really been going on. We've had a couple of fighters sign up to our promotion at very cheap rates. As you can see, no one under no one under contract that's really of any note necessarily. Tyler Diamond, couple of undefeated fighters, I believe. He's the only one actually that I see. Yeah, so Tyler Diamond. Maybe I'll look to build him up, and that's going to be something that I'm actually going to be able to use, is the hype thing. Because usually I don't use this in the UFC save because everyone's kind of a prominent name altogether. But as you can see, you can use this to really build up anybody on your roster. If I wanted to make Cody Griffin a big deal, I could put him on high hype, and I accidentally just did that. And I'm going to go ahead and end that. So, so you can hype anybody up like massively and then hope that they win, because if you hype them up big and then they win, they gain a lot of popularity, therefore you can sell more tickets, yada yada yada. So we're going to just go ahead and skip a couple of days. I still have a couple of people, and by a couple I mean a lot, that I'm wanting to get under contract. A couple of people of note I'm noticing here. Mike Santiago. No one that's really coming. Adam Antolin, I know he's fought in the UFC before. Jose Torres would be a big one, because he's a very big flyweight contender. Definitely looking to my offers not being seriously considered. Who's he? PFL. PFL, that sucks. I'll up that to 1,500. See what he says. Alright. I'd be willing to ball out for Jose Torres. That'd be okay. Get a ranked flyweight in here. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm going to set up our first fight card. As you can see, absolutely nothing going on. And unlike our UFC save, where like they're booked 3 months in advance and there's like millions of fights booked in advance. So this is going to be GFG number 1. Our very first event. Going to be in California to try to get as much money as possible. Obviously, the market is very lucrative. I'd imagine the same can be said for Nevada, because obviously Nevada, 95, almost like the birthplace of MMA, but we are going to go in California. That's going to be where this is going to be based out of. But I don't know exactly what we're going to call this. I don't even think we're going to have the main event name on there. I think this is just going to be GFG 1. Gladiator Fighting Global 1. We might have the main now, because we just want this to be about the first show. We don't want it to be about the main event. We don't even have main events that are even worth talking about. So why would we even bother with that? So I think what we're gonna do is set up this first event, week 4 of October. And should I go the Saturday route? Should I go the Sunday route? Because I know a lot of fight cards air on Saturday. So I think I'm gonna do the Sunday route. It will be a major show. Obviously, that's all that we can really do. I'm going to go advanced local for the marketing. Try to get it up there a little bit more. $6,000 a month. Not exactly sure. Maybe we should keep it a little basic. $2,000 a month. We should go all out for our first show. So advanced local. Obviously, it's not going to be able to be broadcasted by anybody. Drug testing. If we choose to not drug test, we might get a little bit of flack. Is mandatory and is carried out. Okay, so we'll have to drug test, so there's not really much we can do about that. So we have to drug test in California a month and 2 weeks advance. So if we do this, basically everybody will be able to fight. That's good. And then the guys that are quick camp fighters, we won't sign up for. We'll give them a fight somewhere down the line. All right, so let's go ahead and do this Sunday, week 4 in October. All right, absolutely. And our first fight card is scheduled. Okay, so now let's go ahead and book some fights. Obviously, we're not going to have any championships being crowned just yet. Obviously, we can't do that during our first fights. That'd be kind of lame to do. We want to get some people up there in name value, get some consecutive wins under people's belts. But let's go ahead and see who our most popular fighter is under contract. And they're all low-level regional, so I really don't think it's going to matter all that much. So at this point, let's just go ahead and book fights and see what we can come up with. All right, so let's go to the rankings. And we don't have rankings, so let's go ahead and update them and see what they come up with. All right, so these are the rankings as of right now. I do like that Tyler Diamond is up there, #1 in that division. So now that we have our rankings up, let's go ahead and reset this so we can get everything situated here. So heavyweights. I do like the idea of having sort of a heavyweight tournament. Not exactly sure how I would go about it just yet because there are still some people that we would need to sign. But I do think for the heavyweights, that is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of a tournament. For the light heavyweights, not so much. These are all pretty even fights. James Boknovic looks to be a pretty big deal. So I wonder if Jeremy Kimball and Lolohea Mahe looks to be an even fight. Boknovic and Kimball, not so much. Boknovic, of course, has fought in the UFC before. They're both on a losing streak. It looks like this one's going to be the one to make, however. Mahe and Kimball, so let's go ahead and set that one up. Pretty even fights. All right, Boknovic, not exactly sure if I want him to be fighting on this card. He looks to, he's unknown, apparently, but he is a good fighter, so I'll probably have him go at another point. Right, #1 versus #3. This looks to be like a more even fight, Gigliotti and Bernhard. So we'll go ahead and do that. They're both on losing streaks, but it's all good. All right, Gallegos needs someone to fight. You know what? I might have him take on Boknovic. Give Boknovic a pretty easy fight. Have him go up a weight class into the light heavyweight division. Can he fight in the light heavyweight division, Gallegos? He can, so that's really good. And you'd imagine it'd be a pretty easy win for Boknovic. And at this point, that's all I really want to do is build up fighters. So that way, when they're fighting later on down the line, it means a lot more. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with Boknovic, is have him take on Julio Gallegos. All right, so I think I have to do it this way, actually. So to be announced, Julio Gallegos. Set it up that way. Go back into there, and this is what you can do in order to get people to fight at different weight classes. You pick them, you set their fight as to be determined, and then you go to weight class, go up to light heavyweight, and then pick their competitor. All right, so this is how you do it. Save the fight, and boom. All right, so we have 3 fights scheduled thus far. All right, welterweight is where it's really going to kick off, and I think I might do a tournament for welterweight too, because we have a lot more people in the welterweight division. We have 9, and I can easily do an 8-man tournament, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here. But I like Keon Caldwell. I'm not sure why he's not in there. I know he fights in Bellator, so I'm not sure exactly why he's not in there. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see what we can do tournament-wise. Create a new tournament. Let's go ahead and call this GFG Welterweight Championship. All right, tournament size. All right, 8 fighters. Weight class is in the welterweight. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rankings. Hector Urbina lost to Vicente Luque. Dennis Olsen lost to Brennan Ward. I'm picking up a pattern here. A lot of these guys are coming off of losses in their last fights, and of course they would. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be free agents. Lost to Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, of course, a really big prospect in the UFC welterweight division right now. So I wonder if I should make this 16 fighters. Let's see. Player wants to by making the correct matches. Fights are not to be held in the same order. Please note the turn automatically when a fight takes place. So if a bye is found, the opponent will automatically advance. If the tournament final features 2 byes, go to one-night only tournaments. So I'm curious to see if I can start this tournament, and because I'm pretty sure that I can change the competitor like at will. Like I can do it at any point. Let's see. Do I have people that I'm going after that I can put in that tournament? Roberto Sanchez, flyweight. I think I'm just going to run with the 8-man tournament. Because I know heavyweight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not exactly sure, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that tournament for the welterweights instead. So GFG, welterweights, GP, 2000. Should I say 20? I'll just put it there. Welterweight Grand Prix, and it will be in the welterweight division. Rankings are as follows. How many fighters does it say we have? So it says we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It says we have 12. That is very interesting. It says we have 12 fighters in the welterweight division. They would be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 that are able to fight. And I can schedule all these fights for this first card too. Now that is very interesting because I think tournaments, new tournament, I can set it to 16 fighters and then just have 4 people on a bye. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Can I do that though? I'm not 100% sure. Would that even make sense? Of course it would. Yeah, sure it would. Sure it would. Alright. Now I need to just figure out how I'm going to go ahead and rank this. Welterweights. Alright. Alright. Because let's see. Who are the 12 fighters? By ranking. Alright, so it's looking like Tommy Jones. Well, let's see. The top 4 in the rankings are obviously going to be on bye. So Soto, Urbina, Olsen, and Kessler are going to have byes. Alright. So Soto, Urbina, Olsen, and Kessler are going to be on byes. Can't believe I'm GFG welterweights. Taking a while just to make this tournament. Welterweight. GP. 16 fighters in the welterweight division. And so it's going to be Soto, Urbina, Hector Urbina, and then Dennis Olsen, and then Ron Kessler that are on byes. Okay. Alright, so if that works correctly, and I think it should, then that means Steve Montgomery would be the number 1 seed, technically, in these 4 fights that we would have going on. And if that's the case, number 1 seed wouldn't face the actual number 1 seed, so he should go right here. So it would be Kessler. No, not Kessler. It would be Montgomery taking on Tommy Jones. Right? And then it would be Dominic Waters. Taking on not Omar Johnson. Sean Spencer? Yes, Sean Spencer. There we go. All right, taking on Sean Spencer. All right, then Mike Wilkins taking on Omar Johnson. Mike Wilkins taking on Omar Johnson. And then Bobby Nash taking on Keon Caldwell. All right. So we've got ourselves a tournament here. Our welterweight Grand Prix, 16 fighters. Actually, 12 fighters with 4 people on a bye. The top 4 ranks decided by apparently the media. Not exactly sure why. So Greg Soto is on a bye. Nash versus Caldwell. Waters versus Spencer. Kessler and Olsen are on byes. And then it's going to be Montgomery Jones, Wilkins Johnson, and Urbina is on a bye. So let's go ahead and create this tournament. And there it is. All right. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fights to make. So Nash versus Caldwell. All right. Go ahead and make that. Let's go ahead and book our next tournament fight, which would be Waters versus Spencer. Go ahead and do. Ooh. Do I want to pay him an extra $250? I don't. I can do it at the next show. Nah, I'd rather just get it taken care of. Go ahead and do that. All right. Montgomery versus Jones. All right, there's that. And then one more. Wilkins versus Johnson. All right. Okay, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights booked so far, which is pretty good. I think I want to get to 10. So 10, that would mean I'm spending at least $10,000. You know, I'm not 100% sure I want to do that, actually. I think I might go ahead and stop this and then add another show 3 weeks from then. So it would be November, the 3rd week of November. Yep, on a Sunday. Okay, same thing. GFG2, no main event name. Okay, same thing. California, drug testing. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set placeholders for those other 4 competitors, because since they're only on standard contracts, I kind of have to do a reach around where I schedule them, in quotation marks, I schedule them for fights, but they're against opponents to be announced, so they don't really have a fight scheduled, but I technically have scheduled them for a fight, so they can't accept any bookings with other promotions. So what I'm going to do is do that for the other 4 competitors who I know are going to be in that welterweight tournament. So Soto, Urbina, Olsen, and Kessler. And I know it might take a while, like a couple months or something like that, for some of the other guys, you know, to get their bearings and get cleared by doctors and stuff. But this is just to ensure that these 4 guys who are on buys in this tournament don't get booked for another promotion. Now we can always book more fights for the show, which I'm about to do, because I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more fight for this show, and then I can schedule my other fights that are going to be for GFG 2. So let's go ahead and schedule one more fight for GFG2. And let's see, where do I want to do it? the featherweight division, Tyler Diamond. Let's go ahead. I really want to build up Tyler Diamond, so I want to find a fight that would be good for him. And here we go. Big favorite against this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. He doesn't have time to run a full training camp. Give him an extra 250. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and put Tyler Diamond in the main events. Just because I really, really want to build him up. Kimball can be there. I want to build up Boknovic too. So let's go ahead and put him in the co-main. And then the rest is good to go. We can have the welterweight fights be down there. And I think that is how we're going to do it. So now let's see. Bobby Nash, Keon Caldwell, low-level regional. These are all going to be low-level regional, I'd imagine. Nothing's going to be actually mid-level regional where I'd have to put them in the main events. Spencer versus Waters, no. Nash versus Caldwell, no. All right, everything's low-level regional. So we'll just do it like that for organizational sakes. And we're going to go to Tyler Diamond under hype, and we're going to give him a substantial amount of hype because I really, really want to build him up. 23 years old. We can hold on to him for a while if we really want to. We know that he's going to be a big star for us, so Tyler Diamond is on high hype. All right, so let's go ahead and set up GFG2 now. Get some bookings in for that one, and I don't think I'm going to actually do a tournament for the heavyweights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do the same thing like I did with the welterweights where I give some people buys, but I don't think I'm going to do that. If anything, I'd probably run just like a quick 4-man tournament because there's only 4 people in the rankings, 6 people on the roster. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and do a tournament for them. I'll just get something going here. Look for some even fights here. That looks about to be an even fight. Right there. Go ahead and do that. If anything, this is sort of a defunct tournament, but I don't really want to call it a tournament. Go ahead and do that as well. And throw the other heavyweights on there as well. Lorenzo Hood. Looks to be an easy win for him. All right, so we have 3 fights out of 8. Remember, those 4 people are kind of just placeholders. So what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to send those down to the prelims. Send those down to the prelims just for organizational sake, just so that way I don't schedule them for a fight just yet. I can always just move them to another card. But if you were to go to their fighter page, it'll say that they are currently have a fight booked. It'll just say that they're to be announced. As you can see there, next fight versus to be announced at GFG2. So now he can't take any bookings. We're the only contract he really has, Greg Soto, but still safe to do so. You never know, he could sign another contract, get signed away from us. All right, so GFG2, that's the prelims. Go back over here. Still 5 more fights to book. And it looks like lightweights is going to be where we do it again. How many people do we have at lightweights? 6. Not necessarily enough for a tournament. I think we're going to keep that at the welterweight division. So from here, it's just kind of scheduling some more fights here. All right, 13-1. I don't know how he's not favored, but we'll go ahead and do that. Mike Joy and Michael McBride. That's a somewhat even fight. Let's go ahead and do that. At this point, this is just to get some fights on, you know. Something for people to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more fight. And I think we'll go for those featherweights. All right. Not exactly sure who the most popular guy is on this card. and I really don't think it matters. If there's anyone I wanted to build up, uh, not exactly even sure. Not any of those heavyweights. Maybe Nate Jolly? I don't know. Michael McBride? No. No one that has any like good look that I absolutely like need to say, oh wow, like this guy needs to be on posters. This guy needs to be the face of the company. Cody Griffin. That's that's not a face that's going to be selling pay-per-views. Jason Riley, same thing. Like these are all just fighters to fight. You know, they're out there. Lorenzo Hood's a good-looking dude. You know what I mean? But he's not. Doesn't have a great record. He's not a prospect by any means. Zach Rosol, same thing. Matt Muramoto. I mean, for Arizona, that's pretty cool. 5-2, not the best record. So nothing that I could really sell. Nate Andrews. No, not really. He has a great record, 13-1. But he was heavily an underdog in that fight, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. Mike Joy, not 100% sold on him. Michael McBride, no, don't think so. Nate Jolly, I mean, don't know what I'm gonna do for the main event. Maybe this guy, Johnny Boy Nunez. Let's see. If Jonathan Nunez is favored in this fight, maybe I'll bump that up. And he's not. Lindsay, no, not really. Tyler. I mean, Josh Bearcat Tyler, you know, pretty good looking guy. He looks like he could sell some fights, but I think he's the underdog in this fight, so that wouldn't exactly be a good move. Yeah, he's the underdog. Arthur Rofi, maybe. 7-1, pretty good record against Frank Buenafuente. You know what? I think I'll go ahead and make this the main event. This featured featherweight fights. Not exactly people that I'm looking to just promote one guy, but you know, overall, if I had to pick another one, it'd probably be Lorenzo Hood. Put him in the main event. Maybe Nate Andrews right behind that. Then this lightweight fight here, followed by that Nunez Jolly fight. Probably bump that above. Go make that the co-main, actually. And then Tyler. So, yeah, right about that. That seems about right. So that's GFG 2 and 1 booked. And I think that's basically what we're going to do. We still have to sign a couple of more fighters before we can really sign anything up for more shows. So this is what I'm going to be doing. 8 fights per card. Around every 3 weeks or so is what I'm going to like to do show-wise. But ultimately, I'll end up running out of fighters, so I don't really know exactly what's going to happen. We have this welterweight tournament going on, and that's going to be a lot of fun to see how that plays out. Of course, not exactly sure what's going to go on after the first round because some people could get injured, people pull out of fights, things like that. You know, it's a crazy world, mixed martial arts, so you never know what's going to happen, and I'm here for it. So that's episode number 2 for you. Booked 2 cards, and when we come back with episode 3, we'll go ahead and see who else we've signed, see if there's any other big news that we have to tell you as we head towards GFG 1. So thank you guys for watching episode 3 on its way soon. I'm AZPlow21 signing off.